What's up, Panda Nation? Peter from Panda here. Hey, I wanted to show you my APC backup uninterruptible backup power supply here because it's been pretty useful. So we've had a lot of storms, power's gone out sometimes, and there are things that even if you are like me and have a generator that might kick on, in 10, 15, 20 seconds later after a power outage, there are some things that just don't handle power outages well, any type of outage. And one is my desktop computer. You don't want to really just unplug that from the wall because they will go off and it's just not good for them. There are things like maybe your TV, anything with a cooling fan that maybe will run for a while even when it's powered down. It's just not good, like projector and things like that. So you may have a lot of things. This will keep them running when you have a power outage. Now, it won't keep them running indefinitely. This one is the 550. There's actually a new version, the 600, but 550 volts, I believe, and so the new one will go up to 600 volts. And I just want to give you a quick tour of it. So if you have power interruptions and things that you can't have interrupted, I think this is a good way to do it. As you can see here, we have 8 normal outlets, grounded outlets on the top here, and it's a big plastic housing. It's pretty heavy because you can replace the battery. There's on the front here, there are a couple little LEDs, power on and replace battery, or there's a couple of colored LEDs in there. And so this will usually just be green or green flashing. I'll kind of show that to you. But when it gets red, you want to replace the battery. There's also a power button right there. And replacing the battery, although I've never done it, so keep in mind that I don't think you have to do it that often, is just as simple as taking this off and then replacing this battery here. And looks like, I don't even know how you do it, but you can see how big you can see how big this battery is. It's probably, I think it just kind of drops out like this, and here it is. There's the battery, and it's just a couple connectors on the top. Just take those out and put them back in. Now, I've seen this battery available, at least on Amazon, for like 20 bucks, 17 bucks, something like that. So replacing the battery, even if you get the housing, if you can get a good deal on the housing, you can buy the battery, and you may want to buy a new battery because that's probably the thing that's most important. So you can see here, I just hit the power button, and you can hear it now because now it's saying no power, and so it's on battery power. So let me hit that, just turn it off here again. So pretty heavy. This is probably going to want to be on the floor. Obviously, you're going to kind of want it to hide it away in most cases. For me, it's just on the floor by my desk where I've got my computer plugged in. There's a 5-foot power cable. I'll show you that here. There's a circuit breaker button. So let me see if I can show you here. Circuit breaker button right there to reset. Building wiring fault light. Never had that go on. You have a couple of Ethernet jacks here, network out, network in, if you want that network to pass through here. You also have a PowerChute USB port. I think these are for like printers, cameras, those type of things. And I think that's just about it. Yeah, that's pretty much all the other ports. Really the ones that you probably care the most about are these outlets on the top, which are going to be kind of universal. So what I want to do here, and just kind of show you how it works and that it does work, is I'm going to plug it in. And I have my special light with me. What this little light does, I think I did a review on this. It's the Eton Blackout Buddy. It's just an emergency light. It has a little sensor on it. For one's a night light, but then the other is an emergency flashlight. If it senses, you plug it into an outlet to keep the battery charged, and when the power goes off, it sees that the power has gone off and turns on the emergency light. When it detects power again, the light goes off. So it's going to be kind of a good little visual indicator. Now, there's something to know here is that the 4 outlets on this side are surge protected, and the 4 outlets on this side are battery backup and surge protected. So it's going to silk screened on there. So I'm going to plug it into the backup and surge protected side, just like this. And now I'm going to go ahead and plug in the APC unit into an outlet. And a little chirp just means that it's going to get power. And now I'm going to hit the power button here. I'm going to turn on the power. It's going to blink for a little while it's searching to see if it's going to receive power. Or it's receiving shore power, I should say. and now it's a steady green, which means that the APC unit, everything's good. It's receiving power from the wall, no interruptions, and you're good to go. So, you know, this light now is detecting it has power, saying there's no power outage. It thinks it was just plugged into an outlet, and so we're all good to go. Now, if here, let me just show you. If I pull this out and it loses power, guess what's going to happen? Boom, that light goes on. All right, just showing you that it does work. So I'm going to plug it back in there. And now what I'm going to do on the count of three is I'm going to unplug the APC unit from the wall outlet here. 1, 2, 3. So now I've unplugged it. And what I get is this audible alarm and the flashing green light that says, hey, I got no power. I am supplying power to your devices based on my battery. See, here's the plug for it. Not plugged into the wall, but it never allowed the power to be interrupted to my little blackout buddy here, just like it would to your television, your stereo, your projector, your computer, whatever it may be. The uninterrupted power supply absolutely works as advertised. Now, if I pull this out, it's going to keep warning me that I'm not on power, you know, but hopefully by this point, maybe your generator has kicked on or something. If I pull this out, boom, that light goes on. So you can see, you know, even if there was an instantaneous, but just a momentary power loss, that would have at least flashed. But I really like the fact that it keeps power going, 550 volts. If that's not good enough for you, step up to the new one. But this thing is under 60 bucks. I got mine originally on Amazon. I know there's a newer version. I will put a link to this and the new version. But, you know, for under 50 bucks or under 60 bucks, I get it, no power. I think it's just a great thing to have, and this one has gotten a lot of good reviews. There are other uninterruptible power supplies out there that have gotten kind of poor reviews, but you don't want to wait until you're working on an important document or editing photos or transferring data or something like that to have the power be interrupted, whether it's unplugging a cord from the wall, or sometimes you have those light switches that are actually power switches and someone turning that off, or a lightning strike or something like that to screw up everything. So I think these things are super, super useful. Peter from Panda, out.